During the Namban period in the 16th century, Japan began trading with the West, especially with the Portuguese. They brought firearms, silk, and sugar, while Japan exported silver. This exchange of goods empowered the daimyos and opened a new era full of strategy, wealth, and rivalry. Created by Isra and Shea and illustrated by Joan Guardet, the White Castle Duel is a game for 2 players, ages 10 and up, and you'll place lanterns, manage resources, and climb the social track. Every move counts, and every decision brings you closer to the victory. So get ready to place your lanterns and get ready for the duel. Welcome back to the Himeji Castle. Well, first of all, let's talk about the board and the key difference between its brother, the White Castle. In the White Castle Duel, there's no dice and there's no bridges. The central element of the game is the lanterns, which let you collect resources and trigger actions on the board. The game is played over 2 rounds, the outgoing round and the return round, and each round has 6 turns per player. Before we begin, let's take a quick look into the board. We have the main board and the personal boards, 2 for each player. We have our daimyo clan seals. We have our space for resources. We have our little cute lanterns that will be useful throughout all the game to activate all the actions. We have the tracks of resources, so in this case, mother of pearl, iron, and food. We have the swap tokens. Later on the game, we're going to explain what is the use for the swap tokens. We have our resources, and in the main board, we have the influence cards. We have over here the track of social ascension track for our little courtiers over here. We have the victory points track, we have the market, we have also our garden, and we have also the training fields over here. And the last part that it's new to the game, it's the trading with the Portuguese. So this is a new action that we're going to be doing throughout the game. So let's talk now about the turn structure. At the start of your turn, you may optionally use an activation swap token to exchange 2 activation tiles in the castle. So we're going to use this token over here to swap 2 activation tiles that are those hexagons over here. So we're going to swap the order for us to do the best option possible, in this case, to do the action. In the outgoing round, place one of your cylinders from your personal board into the main board. If the spot is empty, your cylinder must be a different color than the lantern shown there. So for example, let's take a look at this orange lantern, and we're going to place the lantern over here. So it's orange, and going to place a different color, so in the black lantern over here. If there's already cylinders in that space, yours must be still a different color, and you can stack up to 3 cylinders maximum. In the return round, take the top cylinder from any stack and place it back into your personal board, in the row of the same color as that lantern. There's no limit on how many you can take in this round, so in the return round, the second phase on this game. In each turn, every time that we place a lantern, we're going to get rewards. So let me explain. During the outgoing round, the first round, when you place a lantern on the board, we're going to take the rewards that match the color of the lantern space. If it's a black lantern space, so this is the case, we're going to take the rewards from the black row on our personal board. So in this case, we're going to have 1 iron and 1 yen. During the return round, the second round of the game, when we return a lantern into our board, we're going to place it in each matching color row and take the rewards from that color, the color of the lantern in this case. So for example, if we take this lantern, we're going to place it into each matching color, and we're going to take all the rewards that we're going to have in this row. Now let's talk about the actions. After placing or removing a cylinder, perform 2 actions next to that space. If you can't or don't want to take an action, you may instead take a well benefit that are those benefits over here in the board. So for example, 1 victory points, 1 swap token, 1 yen or daimyo, and 1 resource. One of the actions that we could do is place our cylinder over here, for example, and do the garden action. We're going to place 1 clan seal in the gardens, so this clan seals over here, and we're going to place them in the gardens, that is this space over here. The cost for this action is 2 or 5 food. We're going to place 1 of our seals in a free garden space and gain the reward shown in that column. At the end of the game, garden seals also provide extra icons for scoring. That would be these icons over here. The other action that we must do if we place our cylinders over here is to go into the training fields. The cost is 2 or 5 iron. You can see the cost over here. And we're going to play 1 of our seals in a training field, and we're going to choose one of the 2 available rewards. At the end of the game, basic fields multiply points for katanas and kabutos, and elite fields over here multiply only for kabutos, but their value is obviously higher. If we choose to place our lanterns over here, for example, we must do this action, that it's the advance on the social ascension track. The cost is 2 or 5 mother of pearl. So as you can see, we have the cost over here. These are a little characters, and we're going to move our courtier 1 or 2 spaces forward to take the reward of the space you land on. In this case, for example, let's say I'm gonna get this reward. At the end of the game, the castle floor where your courtier stands will multiply your Novori flag points. So this symbols over here. So as much of Novori flags you have, you're going to multiply depending on which floor your courtier is. Now let's move on into the trading with the Portuguese that is essential into this game. We're going to be spending resources to trade. So it's this action over here. As you can see, this is the activation tile, and we have the little ship over here, and we're going to spend resources to trade. If we spend 1 resource, we're going to have the option to buy 1 influence card. If we spend 2 resources, we're going to have 1 common merchandise, and if we spend 5 resources, we're going to have 1 valuable merchandise. At the end of the game, all extra merchandise adds extra icons for scoring. In this beautiful game, we have lamps. We're going to gain all visible benefits from a lamp on our personal board at our choice. So let's say, for example, I'm going to place a lantern over here, and the action that it's the activate lamps is this activation tile that it's over here, and we're going to get all visible benefits from the row that we choose. Remember that every time that we place a lantern, we must do the 2 actions that are beside our lantern that we just placed. So we have the activation tiles, but we also have the influence cards that we can buy. So in this case, we can spend 2 yens or 2 daimyo clan seals in this case, and we're going to get immediately the garden action. And we're going to see this little icon over here that it's useful for scoring. And now we have this card, this influence card in our personal board. So that leads me to the last action that we can do throughout the game, that it's improving our influence cards. We're going to flip up to 2 of your purchase cards. Their actions now count for scoring. Lastly, we have the wealth benefit, and if you escape an action, you may take 1 resource. So in this case, as we talked earlier, we have 1 daimyo seal, 1 coin, 1 swap token, and 1 clan point. Let's talk about the final scoring. At the end of the game, players score points from clan seals, so all the clan seals that we've placed on the board, so these icons over here that are victory points, but immediate victory points. So every time that you gain clan seals, the red fan, it's immediate victory points that we are going to be scoring in this track over here. Every 5 coins or daimyo seals, you're going to get 1 point. And for 3 or 6 of the same resource, you're going to get 1 point as well. But if you have 7 of the same resource, you're going to get 2 points. That will be over here. So 1 point for every 5 resources, in this case, for example, the yen or the daimyo. And if your resource or any of your resource ends up over here between 3 and 6, you're going to get 1 point. And if any of your tracks is full, you're going to get 2 victory points at the end of the game. Let's see the Nobori flags. We're going to multiply our Nobori flags, the flags over here, so the influence cards that we have, all the icons of Nobori flags. We're going to multiply our total numbers of flags by the floor of your courtier in the castle. Let's see the katanas and kabutos. The katanas, each seal in your basic training yard, we're going to multiply them by our total katana icons that we have in our personal boards. Remember, they must be flipped. And the same for kabutos. Each seal in the basic or an elite yard, we're going to get 2 points. We're going to add those together and multiply your total kabuto icons. So let's talk about the origami cranes. It's also an icon that will be scoring, this icon over here. We're going to multiply the number of blue cranes by your white cranes. And if there's tiebreakers, if players tie, the one with most clan seals wins. But if seal tied, the highest courtier on the ascension track wins. If you're still tied, the victory is shared. So I hope you liked the tutorial for White Castle Duel. It's super simple, it's quick, it has a lot of strategy, it's a little bit crunchy, but I enjoyed it so much. So I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!